if this ain't the most egotistical goddamn thing I've seen, I mean, I don't know when I've seen something this ego tripping on the big screen.
More than Impossible.
I was going to just say, you just saw Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise.
Final Reckoning.
Tom Cruise is doing this for you, all right? I know I'm going to try to make him sound like Jesus, but yeah, I mean, it might be a big vanity project, but he's trying to entertain.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise didn't put on a CD and say, hey, listen to my song at a goddamn movie theater. Double Toasted's 11th year anniversary party is coming up. Join us for a full weekend of live music, shows, comedy, after parties, a movie screening, and more. Get your tickets by going to dtanniversary.eventbrite.com or use the QR code right there to take you to the site and get your tickets today. And I'll be back at the Broadway Comedy Club June 27th for my own style of sit-down comedy. You'll also be doing some open mic. So get your tickets now by going to doubletoastedny.com. Use that QR code right there. Or you can go to doubletoasted.com. And let's talk about Abel Tesfaye. And people are like, is that chocolate rain dude? No. That was Zay Tande or whatever.
Tay Zonde. Put some respect on his name.
I'm sorry. No. That was Zay Tande.
Tay Zonde.
Yes, exactly. Chocolate rain. But no, we're talking about a different musician. Not as popular, but a little close. The Weeknd.
There we go.
Right here. Abel Tesfaye, right here is his real name. And I can't really blame the man. You know, there's a lot of musicians out there who have successfully made that transition from musician to actor. You know, look at Lady Gaga herself.
Yeah.
And many people have done it with success, as I said, Academy Award winners and everything out there. And it helps boost their career even more. Why should the great Abel Zonde, Tesfaye, Abel Tesfaye, why should he not have his chance to go out there?
Yeah.
I mean, it worked so well on TV.
Did it?
No. No, it did not.
I thought you were a fan.
Yeah, you wouldn't let me watch that show, so I don't know.
Martin, I didn't want you to get your ass beat like I did. You know, man, we're talking about The Idol, the show that he did with Lily Rose Depp.
Yeah.
I came out there, I said, man, he ain't good, but he ain't that bad, and people lynch my ass.
Say it again.
Boy, they strung me up. You still see the rope burn on my neck right here. Ooh, well, I won't make that mistake again. Or will I? Because some people are calling his new movie, Hurry Up Tomorrow. Some people are saying it is hands down, both hands down, worst movie of the year.
People can be hyperbolic.
They can. People can be assholes. Mark. Let's just get down with that. It's we got the Weeknd and you got the internet.
Wait, isn't the internet another?
That's actually
singer?
a real band.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the asshole internet.
Okay.
Talking about the people, not the band. Yeah, people can be a little rough, man. Whenever I don't know. It just takes one person to just start a mob.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to bring you down. Y'all know that's not me. I'm fair to the point where I'm even getting an ass whooping over it. So I went and saw the movie, so I can say for myself. You went and saw the movie.
Oh, yeah, I did.
And, I see these movies because my first intention is to come in and defend if necessary. I don't like to see people brought down.
No, me either.
I'm not a hater, as I've always said. I want to see people succeed, even this man right here.
Sure.
I thought the poster looked really cool, to be honest.
Wow, talk about a backhanded compliment.
Well, we got his review already. But then again, we know he's crazy, so you can never tell. So let's just go ahead and get into let's watch this trailer. Damn. So you have The Weeknd playing himself, as I tell you, Abel Tesfaye. They even say his name in the movie quite a bit. He's a troubled artist who is dealing with his inner demons until he meets someone with crazy demons in his. That's pretty much it right there. Now, this movie is pretty notorious right now online for one particular scene that is making the rounds. We've all seen it. We've all had a good time with it. And we're going to watch it again.
What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? I have to go right now. I'm getting calls.
Ooh, that still hurts. Ooh, I'm still sore from the last time I watched that. Ooh, I had to soak in some ice water after watching that last time. Ooh. So, the good news is that this, for myself, this is good news for me, maybe for you. The good news is that this is the worst acted scene in the movie right here. We got Wednesday arguing with the weekend.
Yeah.
We got one day of the week arguing with the
the
other rest of the week.
The last 2 days.
The good news is that is probably, as far as the acting goes, especially with the weekend, that is the worst part that you saw right there. The bad news is that the movie's still terrible.
Oh, is it?
Listen, I can only speak for myself. Okay, I don't know how you feels. I don't know. You surprise me sometimes, but I'm just gonna come in here and I'm gonna give you a chance to speak your piece. But I'm just gonna tell you that trailer has no story because this movie has no story.
Okay, because the first half of that trailer, I was like, I don't see any kind of story here.
Ain't no story in this movie.
But then he's chained to the bed and she's pouring gasoline on stuff. I was like, okay, it looks like some stuff happens.
Ain't nothing happening in this movie. Hell, I mean, that's what they want you to think. That's for the people who need to go in there thinking they getting something.
Oh no,
you ain't getting nothing.
I mean, stuff does happen, but not a whole lot that merits a whole movie.
Listen, because there's a hint of a story. Mm. What you saw with that bed and her pouring gasoline around the room and burning the place up, that's just a hint of a story. And even I can't tell you if that's good, because instead of actually telling the story, the movie just padded out with just a bunch of visuals and dark frenzy camera work and whirls and twirls and all this kind of stuff. But more than that, the movie just lingers on the weekend. Just standing around, staring at the floor, staring at us, looking at the camera, trying to convince us that, oh, he's such a tortured soul. Oh my God, my demons. I'm such a tortured artist. Oh, Jesus. Oh, nobody understands me. And nobody wants to understand you. All right? Not with this kind of shit going on.
But the movie opens on him sitting on the floor playing piano, smoking a cigarette. That's so deep.
Damn, I don't give a goddamn. Let me just say this, because I don't want to come across as somebody who's being insensitive, all right? Listen, if the brother is struggling with some mental issues, if he's struggling with mental health, I don't want to make a joke of that. I got a better help ad for him if he needs one.
You're not rolling.
I don't, right man. I was praying I would have one today. Hell, that's one right there. Just looking at him. I don't have one. I wish to God I did, because, if this man is seriously going through it, I ain't trying to come at him wrong. I'm respectful of that. I hope he gets the help that he needs. But go see a therapist, not a movie director. Nobody needs to sit through your therapy in the form of whatever it is you got going on right now, because I'm going to tell you what, I'm sorry, man, if you're having some mental issues at the moment, but what you put in front of me is some bullshit, okay?
Oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry. I ain't trying to go off, but man, listen, you had to be there. You had to see it. Let me tell you something. Again, I want to hear what you have to say, but speaking of therapy, this is like sitting through someone's therapy session. But instead of them talking about, a real problem, they're talking about how deep they are while making you listen to their music. And I'm not even kidding about that. There's moments like, hey, listen, if you play Blinding Lights, everybody knows that song.
Yeah.
I say, ooh, you know that song. There's a moment in the movie where it's like, if you play Blinding Lights, take a listen. You can hear my pain underneath my amazing vocals and that banging instrumentals, and I'm not bullshitting.
That's what he says?
There's he says it through Jenna Ortega. Yeah. There's a moment where the movie stops and your girl, Jenna Ortega, she gets up and she analyzes. Let me see. Yeah, there's a moment she gets up and plays his CD and analyzes a couple of his songs and tries to tell us how all the layers and nuances in these songs right here. And yeah, Jenna Ortega is saying it But this wrote the movie, all right?
Yeah.
He co-wrote it. He's a producer on it. So was him saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, boy, if this ain't the most egotistical goddamn thing I've seen. I mean, I don't know when I've seen something this ego tripping on the big screen.
More than Impossible.
I was
Mission
going to just say, you just saw Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise.
Final Reckoning.
Tom Cruise is doing this for you, all right? I know I'm going to try to make him sound like Jesus, but yeah, I mean, it might be a big vanity project, but he's trying to entertain.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise to put on a CD and say, hey, listen to my song at a goddamn movie theater. Tom Cruise got on a plane and risked his life and did crazy shit. He didn't say, hey man, listen, aren't I deep? Man, you know, don't look at all the pain I'm going through. You know, nobody want to hear all that kind of shit.
But if I shoot it on film, it'll become deep real quick.
Yeah.
Nobody want to hear all that.
Nobody know. Man, it feels like somebody talking about how flawed they are or about how much they need help, but not for self-improvement, not for help, but because they like listening to themselves.
Sure. It makes them think they sound interesting. And those are people who are the least interesting.
It makes them sound, talking about their flaws makes them sound alluring and at the same time kind of edgy. No, it's boring. And people can see through it. I mean, listen, brother, maybe you used to groupies coming to your hotel room and sitting around listening to this bullshit, but when people got to pay for a ticket and come see you, no, man.
I love that you saw the movie as The Weeknd being like, see, I'm deep. And you're just like, no.
No. Listen, it's like anything else. If you have to tell people you're deep, you ain't that goddamn deep.
Yeah.
This wants to be an autobiography of The Weeknd. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Abel Tesfaye. No, and it comes across as one of the most disingenuous vanity projects that I've seen in probably ever. Like, really, that's one thing I can say about this movie. I've never seen anything like this. Boy, you got some nuts on you.
So at this point, you would not compare it to Purple Rain?
I was thinking about that when I saw it, and I think that is wrong, across the board, because the tone of Purple Rain is kind of lighthearted and fun in most of it, right?
Yeah.
In this is an experimental horror film through and through.
I disagree with that, but you see what you see in it. It's, you can interpret everything you want to. I mean, if you want to talk about, listen.
You don't think that it's attempting to be avant-garde at the very least?
It's attempting to be avant-garde, yeah. It's pretentiously avant-garde.
Yeah, that's experimental.
I don't know. The experimental part, maybe, I don't know. But the horror part I didn't see. I just thought it was like, at most, if you really want to get to it, a thriller about a fan got out of control. But even that's bullshit for me. That's because, with this movie, I'm not sure what we're supposed to get from this man. Because the little bit of story that we do have, it makes him look like an asshole. But there's no attempt to be better. There's no attempt to improve.
And the storytelling is really weirdly done, where it's like they're trying to tell you something about this character, and then it turns out it's about nothing.
He's always on the phone. Here's what I'm talking about. He's all, this man's supposed to be, what am I supposed to feel for you? Because you're talking about how tortured you are and how you got these demons. So what are you doing to be better? But the movie makes him like an asshole. He's on the phone the whole time, listening to these messages from this girl. And the girl is telling him straight up. She's like, I don't know how you could have done this to me. It's one of those deals where it's so bad, your mama be disappointed. Your mother would hate to know what you've done to me. And now I'm thinking, all right, well, I didn't hear his side of the story. Oh, I got it quick. When he tried to call her late at night, pick up the phone, you bitch, pick it up. He comes across as a creepy, whiny stalker.
Yeah.
What's worse than being a creepy stalker? A whiny one.
Yeah.
Why'd you do this to me? Why did you break up with me? Why'd you leave me? I cared about you, bitch. And I was like, man, no, I'm on her side 100%. You did some crazy shit. She said, I'm out. Crazy ass. I ain't talking about the real Weeknd. I'm talking about just what I'm seeing on the screen right here.
Yeah.
That's why I felt nothing in the scenes with him and Jenna Ortega. When she
probably because she was acting circles around him.
First of all, when she tied his ass up to that bed I said, yeah, you finally fucked around with the wrong one. That's what you get. It's funny because he's trying to come across as somebody who's mentally anguished and needs help. I'm like, nah, you're just a dick. She needs help. She's insane. You're just an asshole. I'm not even judging. I know I can be an asshole sometimes. I've been a horrible person. And you know what? And I'll even give you this. I'm sure it's hard to be the Weeknd. Celebrity comes with its own kind of pressure. I feel you, brother. I'm not trying to say you don't have your problems. You do.
And he's at the top. Like, he's about as big as it gets.
Yeah.
He did the Super Bowl.
Yeah. But what are you asking for? Are you asking for sympathy? Because I hate your ass. Now, not you, but I hate this character in the movie. I don't like you, man. You whining, you stalking, you're being mean to people, and then turn around talking about why is life so hard? You kiss my ass.
And then they have like a really weird conflict they introduce, remember, where he goes to see the doctor and they're like, yeah, you have trouble singing, but it's really all mental, but you need to rest your throat. It's like, what are we talking about?
Which one is it?
Yeah. He's got singing
aids. Oh my God, thank you, Julie. That's somebody to think about. They look at his throat and they say, you have polyps on your throat that's preventing you from singing, but it's all mental. You need another doctor. This motherfucker.
Go see another doctor. It's like, you have a tumor in your brain.
He thinks he's a physician and a psychiatrist at the same time. You got him on Craigslist. Go get somebody else, man. Yeah, this is stupid, man. I'm glad you brought that up. That is dumb. I said the same I was watching. I was like, which one is it, man? Because the polyps, that's a physical thing. Right. You know, I'm talking about, did he just think about these and they came in? Can he take them away?
My grandmother died. And I never saw her.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. Here's the crazy thing. The album is actually pretty good.
All right, that was going to be my next question.
The album tells more of a story. The album tells more of a story than this movie ever does. It's almost like they made the album and then got drunk and said, hey, we should make this to a movie. And they just went out and just made something quick.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, this really does tell you, like if you listen to it, I mean, get what you want, but it sounds like lyrically, because I listened to it, lyrically, there's a story thread going through it. Now, again, it's one of those, woe is me, women are so mean after I them, it's still kind of like, okay, shut up. But it is telling a story. And I'm like, why didn't you tell that? Now, you were talking about Purple Rain. This does kind of want to be Purple Rain, but Purple Rain didn't take itself that seriously. Purple Rain even knew to have some funny characters in there and make a joke. They knew that movie probably wasn't that great story-wise. And no offense to The Weeknd, but one, that album that he has, it's a good album, but it ain't no Purple Rain.
That was going to be my question.
Purple Rain is genius. And again, that might just be me. You might think differently. The other thing is, Prince, with his no acting ass, he still had much more screen presence and charisma than The Weeknd does. Weeknd sitting around looking at the floor. I can't go out and perform tonight.
Yeah, The Weeknd just felt like he was trying to prove to everyone, oh, you think I can't act? I'm going to cry in every scene.
Yeah.
You can't act then.
Yeah,
I'm not even kidding. Every scene he's crying.
Yeah, even his picture, you see his eyes all watered up and everything.
Right.
And people have to come in and pick listen, you have to give somebody a good reason to claim that fame is such a burden. It can be, sure. But when you're just sitting down on the floor talking about, I don't want to perform tonight. He's like, man, you better get your black ass up and go out there and give me my money.
And then on top of that, what's the solution to the scene? You have his manager going, come on, do some cocaine. He's like,
yeah. Now, if you want to see something about tortured artists, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's out there, but it's done with more creative flair than this movie is, I think. I mean, check out The Wall. Pink Floyd's The Wall. Pink Floyd's The Wall, first of all, it doesn't have nearly the ego that this movie does. It's based on a fictional character. Second of all, it does tell a story about a guy who grew up with a troubled family life and tells a story with a lot of visual artistry. There are movies out there that have done this. I'm sure there's a lot more. I'm just giving you some examples of what this movie's trying to do and movies that have done it better.
Sure.
Listen,
This felt like a hodgepodge of ideas, and there's certain parts where it's like, wow, dude, I get it. You like The Shining. Relax.
Yeah. The director who did Waves and It Comes at Night.
Yeah, he's a good director.
Yeah, and there's some visually cool moments in here, but the movie's just stuffed with that. I mean, the movie repeats the visuals sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah, we've seen, how many times I got to look at this damn burning house over here? Or I burn this damn theater down watching this. You know, I don't know what went through the thought process leading up to this movie. I can't tell you. I don't know. I don't want to pretend to know. But I can tell you that it comes across as such an ego trip that everyone is unaware of how it looks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everyone's just kind of oblivious. But if you're going to make a vanity project, make it interesting. That's all I'm asking. You know, this wasn't even that. This was boring. You know, yeah, because everybody getting ready to go to the theater thinking they're getting this.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
No, you're not even getting that. Like, I'm sorry to say that there's some moments where, like, if this was a better movie, he wouldn't be catching hell like he is for this scene.
Yeah.
Well, he deserves it for this scene. This scene is terrible.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good thing he is just looking at the floor and crying because he has to he keep doing that.
I'll be honest, I love the end of that scene, though. That was one of my favorite parts in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, people. No,
They should have CG'd him as a chimpanzee. Maybe that would have worked.
no, hell, he would that up too.
Come on, just have a banana. It'll be okay.
I would stick it up your ass. If you're gonna make something, make it interesting. Don't make it boring. That's the biggest thing about this right here. It's not so bad as good. No, we ain't roasting this one day because I ain't gonna sit up here and watch a bunch of goddamn hallways and floors and this just sitting around looking at me crying and everything. I'm not gonna. No, I ain't gonna sit up here and roast that. Hell, I got roasted watching this. You know, it's just dull. It'd be one thing if it was telling a story and being dull, but it's just a guy centering on himself. Because I look at some of the characters in the movie.
I was just going to say, we haven't even talked about the characters.
Oh yeah, no. Let me see here, some of the characters that we have in the film here.
There's only really 3.
Yeah, like Jenna Ortega. You know, like the other cast members. I mean, they can act. Yeah, but they're not given anything to act with. Jenna Ortega, she's just there to be weird and a little off. You know, she plays the fan that he kind of confides in and ends up kind of screwing her over a little bit, and she goes crazy on him.
Bad idea.
Yeah, no, and as far as how you say his name,
Barry Cogan, I think.
Barry Cogan, who is becoming really.
He's a great actor.
Yeah,
love him in Saltburn. He is amazing in that.
He's coming to his own. He's come from being like the weird little kid in movies to like, damn, how do you get hot?
Yeah.
He's still weird, but he's hot. That's what women are saying. Handsome guys.
I know. I'm just waiting for that day when I can understand a word he says.
Oh, well, you'll understand him in this movie because he keeps saying the lines over and over again. He plays the Weeknd's manager / best friend. And he keeps trying to convince us of that because he keeps saying it over and over. Oh, we're brothers, man. We're best friends. Say you love me. We're brothers. We can get through this because we're brothers and I love you. You love me? I love you. And I was like, get it, man. And by the way, I don't buy it.
Right.
It's not convincing.
Yeah.
If you got to keep saying it instead of proving it, it's not working for anybody. So that don't even work. None of this works. None of this works, in my opinion, at all. I don't know what the hell he was trying to do. I don't know what this was trying to accomplish. I don't know what this message was trying to get across. But one of the things that really upset me with the movie is that, it's a movie where he pats him. It feels like this. Now, maybe he didn't mean it this way, but it feels like he's just being so self-congratulatory, but trying to it's almost like a humble brag in a way by doing it through, oh, I'm so much in pain and mental torture. And it's like, no, nobody's buying that bullshit, man. Everything in this movie is meant to praise you. Either you are talking about yourself, either the camera's centered on you, either the camera's down his mouth at one point. There's the characters in the movie are meant to tell you how great you are. Jenna Ortega telling him about his music. Oh, this is great right here because of this isn't so great, but it has the potential to be because you're great. Barry Keoghan, when the Weeknd doesn't want to go out on stage, He comes out, hey, those people, they're here for you. All those people, you make their lives. They live for you. Those people want you. You got to go out there and give them one thing. It's like, oh man, so you co-wrote this. Okay. All right. So where's the scene where you just put your lips up your own asshole?
But even the mental anguish that he tries to portray his character is going through, I will say, very surface level. And it never, that was the biggest disappointment I had with this movie. Because when I walked in, I was expecting something bad. And I was like, oh, I'm getting like one of these weird, trippy experimental movies. And I was kind of into it at first. But then it never goes beneath the surface of like, oh, I have so much mental anguish about this chick who won't talk to me because I'm an asshole. It's like, all right. And
as much as I come in and our videos do better when I'm going off on something, people love hearing us talk about bad things, going off on things, doing bad reviews. I really don't like doing that. Every movie, takes time. Every movie,
a lot of work goes into it.
Somebody, somewhere, even if it's just a crew member, somebody's heart is in it. So I don't like doing this. I don't. I know y'all. I'm smiling. I'm laughing. We're having a good time. But man, I really don't like coming in and talking trash about somebody's film. But listen. When you are so much into yourself, that's the way the movie's coming across. It doesn't bother me either. I'll tell you that. It is like I don't mind that. It's like if you were so into yourself that you wrote this movie to appear to just kiss your own ass to the whole thing, and then gonna turn around and tell me, but life is hard. You can go yourself, man. Nah.
Especially when your characters are such flat cardboard cutouts that you can see the edge of where they cut them out. It's like, God damn. Like, can you put something in there?
Nah, and that's. I mean, like I said, it was nothing here. It was. Go ahead.
I would beg to differ where I think that I leaned more towards enjoying this than others. I do agree that it is incredibly boring at times and lacks substance. But there is at least one good scene, I thought, between Jenna Ortega and Barry Keoghan. I thought that was well directed. There were some strong moments in it. And it kept raising the stakes in the moment. But that's at the very end of the movie. And this is 2 hours long.
You know why you like that? Because something was happening.
Yeah.
Because they were doing something. It wasn't, you know why you liked it? Because it wasn't this looking at us crying. That's why. The camera was off of him for a moment. It was two people doing something. They had, and I didn't even like that because I felt like this is in another movie, this would have meant something. It's in a thriller, this would have meant something. They just threw this in. It's another thing that they're trying to be. And not doing it very, but I mean, again, that's, no, let me take that away from you. If you like that part, that's fine. I wish I could have liked that too, but
did you notice the technical elements that I was texting you about? Like, did you think that there were parts that were shot on film? Because the aspect ratio changes at certain points. And the audio made me think that maybe it was shot on film. Like when Jenna Ortega is dancing to blinding lights and you hear in the background, her knocking on the floor and all this shit. It was really silly, but I liked it.
I couldn't tell. They could have gone from digital to 16 millimeter or something like that.
Or 4x5.
Yeah. They definitely were changing things. And even then, again, I don't know why. That's why I say this movie's kind of pretentious. It's doing things that it thinks an art movie should do.
Yes.
And it's not, and it's not doing it with any substance or meaning. It's just looking at other things. It's looking at movies about tortured artists. It's looking at movies that are avant-garde. And those movies mean something. It probably means something to him. And it maybe means something to Weekend fans out there. I can only speak for myself, but I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, I feel like you're wasting my time. Go get some help. Don't put this in front of me. It's like, man, this be like somebody you talking to and they just, man, I'm having trouble with my wife and my mom she's saying she doesn't like me and the dog is running away and he'd be like, you need to see somebody. I don't want to hear this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those friends are
that's
like,
when I'm like, oh man, well, good luck with all that.
Yeah.
I'm walking away.
It's one of those things where it's like, you either just get up and walk away. You'd be like, man, I don't want to hear this shit.
Right.
Okay? I'd rather get some help. I don't get paid to hear you. And I damn sure don't want to pay to hear somebody do this shit to me. Listen to the album. Album's pretty cool. Albums are actually got some great songs on there. And there's a real story in there. This right here, this is a fuck you, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
You're not big on giving those out.
No, but if you're going to bore me By bragging to yourself? I'd spend enough time listening to people in real life talking shit to me I don't want to hear. I don't want to pay your ass to do it on the big screen. Hey, Corey, can I talk to you real quick? No, hell no.
It won't take much.
No.
See, you're why he's smoking cigarettes playing on that little piano.
Good. Maybe he'll keep his ass in there and leave me the hell alone. Shit, go get some help, man. Don't bring this to me.
Like Schroeder.
That's how, man, the movie loses its mind during the opening credits. It goes crazy. And as it says, like, directed by, see him, like, with a cigarette in his mouth.
No. And there's not enough in the movie to say whether he's a good actor or not. All I know is, let me just say this. So, his biggest lines in the movie are,
And I just want to hold you. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. What are you doing?
that's probably the biggest moment that he has in the movie of dialogue and interacting with somebody. So, this is
okay.
So, I can't really say anything, this brother ain't crying and looking at the floor. Then, I don't know how well he does with actual lines. If he wants to act, that's fine. Then act. Act in a movie with some story. Act in a movie with a script. Don't come in here with this self-indulgent bullshit and sit up here and ask me to kiss your ass while everybody else is doing it in the movie. And by the way, you're doing such a fine job at it yourself. Hell, this head, that afro disappeared right up that ass, man. That's the way I feel. I'm not saying, I really hope that he finds what he wants. But to ask us to sit down and watch you cry and whine through a movie with nothing going on, that's way too much. That's why you get you from me. Come in with the day you come back with a real movie, with a real story, then we'll talk.
And don't forget real characters. That is the biggest crime this movie has. You don't like any of these people. You don't know anything about them.
Yeah, exactly.
And let me just wrap it up, I guess. Well, I definitely like this more than you. And I think just on like a surface level, I think that there is some incredible camera work in here. But the story, the characters, and the meaning behind it all is just empty. The only thing that holds it together is the visuals. And for that, I would give it the lowest possible rental. It's something that you could have on in the background. And even some of it, you'd want to mute it because of this dumb dialogue that they're saying. But there is some parts where the music is good, I guess. But
get the album.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So who cries more, him in this movie or Ana de Armas in Blonde?
Me. I'll cry. Yeah, hurry up tomorrow. Hurry up and end is what you need to do. Hurry up and wrap this shit up.
No, but you see, tomorrow is the weekend.
No, see, that's another thing. Boy, if I could get us a deeper you after hearing that. Double scoop of you. Yeah, boy, bring that cone over here. Let me put another scoop of you on there.
Oh, come on,
you take your ass on out of here with that. Here's your scoop. Now get out of here. God damn it. Or would you look at that? You made it to the end of the video. That means you really like us. So just go ahead and press that like button and subscribe while you're at it. And check out our other channels, our social media like Instagram, TikTok, and our Patreon where we have new stuff coming up all the time. And we'll see you on the next video.